Hey, everybody. Can I get someone to tell me if they can hear me okay on the audio in the chat?
Hi, it's Norma.
Norma, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I am going to put everybody on silent, and then when we get to the end, we'll have a lot of questions, and then I'll open it up and everybody can ask questions. And throughout the time, feel free to put things in the chat or in the Q&A section of the webinar if you want to. And that way we'll have a nice Q&A as we go through. As things come in your mind, we'll have those towards the end. So thank you, Norma, for verifying that my audio is working. I appreciate you.
Okay.
Great, great. Great, great, great. Thank you, Connie. Also. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you for all being early. I love that. All right, can someone also confirm that you're looking at a screen that says Hummingbird across it? Okay, let's see. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Casey. Perfect. Just got to check out everything. And then I have somebody who's raised their hand. Charles, did you need some help? No? Somebody raised their hand.
I raised my hand to indicate I can see the screen.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Appreciate you. Awesome. Great. So we're heading 4:44 Mountain Time right now. Thank you all for being on time. I'm going to allow a little bit of grace for some people who might be new to this Zoom platform and getting on, but I won't wait too long because I want to make the most of your time. And for those that were here early and on time, I want to respect your time as well. So we'll get started here in just a minute. I'm really excited to be a part of this endeavor. And I know that there's some folks here on this call that will also be part of sharing some of these transformational living telecourses as we move forward into carrying out the mission of Hummingbird and so many other intentional living communities that exist. So this is really exciting because we've been planning this for a while, and it just so happened that a lot of people are available to watch and are home now. So how opportune for us. Pretty exciting. All right, so I'm going to give 2 minutes grace, and then we're going to get started. I'm also going to record this session, so for some reason something happens and you have to jump off or you want to watch it again later, which you might, it will be recorded, and we're working on getting it up to a YouTube channel and out to you via email. Another thing I wanted to let you know is that there will be more of these. We're planning on doing our best to launch one per month on different transformational living topics. And we are not yet have dates and titles, but we have several individuals who are committed to performing those for you in April and May and June. And just stay tuned in your email for the details on what those topics will be, who will be speaking, and when they are. And they'll be similar to what we're doing today. So if you like it, also just make sure you have us on your preferred email list, and just look for those invites. So let's go ahead. 2 minutes of grace, which isn't that long, but again, I want to respect your time, and we have a lot of information to go over in a short period of time. So, how many people are here? I think there's, it's growing every minute, but I think there's 24 or so. There was, I think, 60 or 70 registrations, 23 right now. So I'll keep you posted in the end where we end up. But I'd imagine that a lot of people will tune into this later if they're not able to join us right now. So before we get started, I just want to give a huge shout out of appreciation to everyone at Hummingbird Transformational Living Center, the community, the nonprofit organization, everybody who has contributed to the endeavors and the mission of Hummingbird. I just want to thank you very much for allowing me to be part of this and to help to further the mission. And a lot of you already know Hummingbird or are a part of it in some way. Keep your eyes peeled on the website. There's going to be a lot of new things coming. At the end, we're going to talk a little bit about some ways to get involved with some of the other activities and missions that are happening at Hummingbird and through Hummingbird. So just stay tuned for more information at the end. And I'd be very curious to hear some feedback at the end also of just if this was valuable for you and in what ways. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind as we get moving. So again, this is a series of online transformational living telecourses that will be coming to you through Hummingbird and all the wonderful individuals who are there and in spirit are there with the mission of Hummingbird. So today I have the great pleasure and honor to present to you a topic that I have been deeply involved with for many years. And I'll introduce myself here in a minute. Part of my mission is to help to spread the truth and in a fun and engaging ways. So today the topic of our telecourse is adjusting our allowances. And I'll get into what that means and why we do it and all that in a second. And then I'll share a little bit about myself. So my name is Layla Bowder and also known as the Naked Truth Babe. And this is just a little bit about me, lover of life of all forms. I'm supporter of the new earth, intentional and transformational living, curious and courageous woman. And I believe that we can all create ourselves the way we want. And that's part of what transformation is all about and what today is about. And all we really need to live and thrive is healthy inputs, nutrition, warm shelter, and authentic social support. And if you live, if you live in community, you'll know that it sounds easy, but it isn't always as easy as it sounds. So we'll talk a lot more about that today in our exercise. But I'm here to kick off this new offering, and I'm excited and just thrilled to be a part of it. And one of the things I believe in is shining your light as to inspire others to do the same. So that's why I'm here. And here we go to get started with this. Now, if it comes up that for some reason something happens with my audio or video, if someone would do me the huge favor of just alerting me through the chat, that would be wonderful, because sometimes things don't always go the way you want. All right, so let's get into this. Adjusting our allowances. So what's happening when we allow for things in our life that don't fully align? What really goes on with us as humans? And it's my belief and what I've seen happen and what a lot of others could tell you is that it robs you of your power, your authenticity, and living the life that you truly deserve. So we can slide from something really, really small, like say a smoke detector battery or a little bit of clutter or something's broken that hasn't been fixed, all the way to allowing very large things in our lives that make us very uncomfortable. We sort of like wake up one day and go, wait a minute, how did I get here? How did this happen? And it doesn't happen so quickly. It's usually like the little things, you kind of let it slide. And then over time you end up in a place where you can't really figure out how it happened. And so the idea behind what we're doing today is to take a look at all those things so that we can make a difference in our own lives. So why should we do something about these allowances that we have? Well, for one, when you have an open loop or a misalignment, that is running in the back of your brain, and those open loops can really drain your energy and cause chaos for you so that you can't really focus on what's important to you. And a lot of times also we'll be in a place where we remember something that we want to do something about, but we're not in a position to do it. So this just helps us to organize that and to help complete those loops, clear out that energy, and make life more enjoyable. Also, when you're aligned with your values, then you're going to be living more authentically. You're going to feel better about what you're doing because it feels natural to you. And then we all deserve to live rich, fulfilling lives, in my view. So yay for that. I hope that this impacts you in these ways. So we're going to get ready. So getting ready for this audit that we'll be doing, this adjusting your allowances audit. You're going to want to get out some paper, a notebook, a whiteboard, or another way that you can write down what comes up for you as we go through this audit. And this audit will encompass a lot of different things, and you'll want to have a way to capture that. So I'll give everybody a little bit of time as I discuss what we're going to do to grab something to write on. And you might want more than one page, because you may find that as we go through all the different aspects that there is a lot there. So get yourself a notebook or something you can write on, a pen that works. That's always fun finding, right? And then you want to sit comfortably and relax. So I just recently came from a posture course. So of course, this is a priority for me right now, very timely. So sitting stacked, hip, shoulder, and neck, or being comfortable in however you're experiencing this will help you in getting to the things that come up for you. So, and then let's all just take a couple of deep breaths and close our eyes and get ready for the audit. So does everybody have paper ready to go? Something to write with? I hope. We're gonna get moving. All right, so there are a lot of different ways that you can, Stephanie's got her paper. Thanks, Steph. A lot of different ways that you could go through all aspects of your life. And I've seen it done lots of different ways, and I'm coming at it from a little bit different of an angle than I've seen done. So relationships and environments. So pretty much everything with us can be defined, in my view, as one, another, or both, as these are interrelated. So you have relationships to things, and then you have environments that you experience, and your environments and your relationships are really going to be what shapes your life. But what's interesting is that you can actually be the shaper of both of those things as well. So it's kind of a chicken and egg syndrome, where you have a relationship that you create or modify that influences you, and you influences it. So these are all interrelated. And we're going to dive into all aspects, and many aspects, not all, but many aspects of both, to determine where in our lives we may be allowing something that we do not desire. And some people might think this is focusing on the negative, but in my view, we're really just identifying the misalignments and not looking at it from a negative point of view, but more or less just out of alignment. So it's not good or bad, it's just out of alignment, and it's not quite what we desire. So knowing where those things aren't quite right gives us the opportunity to be aware and do something about it. So let's start with what I feel is the most important relationship, and that is with the self. So as we go through these, I'm going to be talking and just showing you some visual representations, and I'm hoping that through the visuals that you get inspired to write down things where you feel, even if they're really small, where you might not be aligned in these relationship areas. So relationship with the self, this picture to me represents somebody who doesn't feel powerful, maybe has low self-esteem, and their view of themselves, their self-image isn't aligned in some way, shape, or form. So for you, you want to write down any way in your life that you feel that your you're not aligned with your self-image in some way, or you're feeling maybe doubt in the self. So that's one area. Same thing here, like just feeling disempowered, that maybe you can't do certain things. And these can stem from different areas, but what we want to do right here is just identify the areas where our relationship with ourselves seems to be out of alignment with what we really want for ourselves. Loving the self, this is big. I'm sure there's many other people who could do a really good job of explaining how to do this, but in your relationship with yourself, does this resonate for you, or are there areas where this might be something to take a look at? Here's a cute visual representation of somebody who is looking at themselves in a happy way. So is this something that you can say is true for you, or are there times, I know for me, when I look in the mirror too much, I tend to pick at myself because I'm criticizing how I look in some way, shape, or form. So that can be an area where you're like, wait a minute, why am I doing, what's up with the picking at the self? So that's one thing for me that I can identify that I do. And then also just looking at the positive side of it, like I want to look in the mirror and feel satisfied with the way I look without the need to pick at myself. So hopefully that gives you some idea on some things that you might want to identify in your relationship with yourself. And this is a whole area that you could probably spend a couple of days seminar on, I would imagine. So it's pretty big, but just the little small things too are not to be overlooked. Those are going to be the ones where you can make progress and get some celebrations for yourself and bring yourself forward as we go, when we get into the second part of this, in resolving some of these things. Okay, next, beyond the relationship with the self is relationship with spirit, and whatever that means to you. Is that an area of your life where there are some things you're allowing for that aren't really aligned with who you are? Do you have practices that are devoted to your relationship with spirit, and what are those things? Are you feeling fully connected with spirit? This is another area that's really big, and for some people can get misaligned, and we can allow for getting away from this. Huge opportunity. So this is just a reminder and some visuals to get you thinking about what areas you might be allowing for something that isn't quite right for you. This one's big, relationship with Mother Earth. So there's a lot of people in this community and others who have a deep feeling about how we treat our Mother Earth, and are we burning her up, or are we embracing and building her back up so that she can support us? And in what ways do we do that? In what ways are we doing that? Is there something that you're allowing for in your relationship with Mother Earth that isn't quite right? I know I have a few for sure, especially as it relates to buying products that have packaging. I'm feeling a very strong pull myself to try to reduce that as much as I possibly can, especially because now recycling is not working the same as it used to, or isn't available at all. So it's causing me to want to put that down in my list. Here's a big one. So I'm trying to go in order of things that I feel like are big, and expanding out. So starting with the self in relationship to Mother Earth, and then expanding outward. So relationship with partner. So are there things that you're tolerating in your relationship with partner that aren't in alignment? What are those things? Is there kindness, consideration that's present? Are there contemptuous moments? I often find that just the way I talk to people, or my partner, or with others, is an area for me that sometimes gets out of alignment with interrupting even, and things like that. Family. I'm sure this picture can resonate with a lot of the moms that are at home right now and parents that are not at work. So what is it that maybe you're allowing that isn't quite right in the family environment, in that relationship, in all those relationships, whether that be an immediate family or extended? Relationship with community. So we're going outwards from, self to earth, partner, family, and then community. So this is a visual of somebody who might be draining your energy, somebody who might be vampiring you. I have experienced this myself, and I know that there's others that experience this too, and that could be in your greater relationship with your community. Is there something that's draining you there? Are you distancing yourself? I think all of us are doing that right now because we're told to, but this can also be an area where you want to actually be closer with your community, but maybe you're not allowed to right now, or maybe there are other things that cause you to not be as connected as you would like to be with the community that you have. And maybe you don't have a strong community. Maybe it's missing. Maybe that community isn't there. I know more and more people are looking into building or moving to a community. So there could be some fear around that. There could be all kinds of things that relate to allowing for things that don't align in community area. So here's a work community, and you can see that this is a picture of what we might want, where everybody seems like they're happy and working together positively towards a common goal. Does that exist for you? Is that something you want that you don't have now? We're going to jump into another one, which is really big, especially right now, and that would be relationship with money. So over the years, my relationship with money has shifted tremendously as I have learned making many financial mistakes. And I think that there might be another topic that'll be coming up on this telecourse series that relates to economics and money really soon. So stay tuned for that. Not by me. But, do you have a lot of debt? Is that something that you are allowing for that you really don't want? Are your bills paid on time? What is your relationship with money? Does it feel comfortable? Do you feel secure? Do you have a spending habit? Some people online shop when they're bored, or just to feel fulfilled in some way, shape, or form. There's all kind of different ways that you could feel like your relationship isn't in alignment, that there might be something. Maybe you're paying for some things that you really don't want to pay for anymore, or just don't make sense. And I think right now a lot of people are evaluating that. So it's a good time to take a look at that. All right, so jumping into the next topic would be relationship with work or your endeavors, because some of us might be retired or have other endeavors like this nonprofit organization or what have you. So are you burnt out from your relationship with work? Are you excited? Do you have aspects of your relationship with work that keep you from enjoying it and keep you from fulfilling your fullest potential? Do you have too many ideas? I can relate to that. Is it hard for you to focus because there's so many things, too much information with your work? What is your relationship with your endeavors that either takes you towards what you want or might make it a little harder for you to get there? And then what are you allowing for with those endeavors that maybe is keeping you from completing a project or having a positive relationship with those things? So I hope you guys are getting some good, these are just here to jog your creative thought into digging into what resonates for you. So I'm sharing a few examples of my own, and then hopefully these images will give you inspiration into finding out what it is for you that you might be allowing in these areas. All right, so your network. This is really big because, especially right now with what's happening, is there's a lot more people on doing things online and in online networks like social media and like what we're doing today. So, how is your relationship with that network? Do you feel like, for instance, over the last few weeks, I've been sharing some controversial information on my network, and there are some people who want to have something negative to say to me. And my relationship with the network is to be positive and encouraging and share things because I want to be a positive influence and also give people the truth as best I can find it for them. And some people want to argue with that or try to be snarky. So I have a rule now that my relationship is I keep positive by, if somebody's really snarky, I may just remove them from the network of my page, or find other ways to make sure that I keep the relationship positive, because it can get to where you feel like people are attacking you maybe or something like that, or you don't feel supported in your network. So those are just some ideas to think about where you might be allowing some things in your network. Like, I know some people who focus on the negative comments on their YouTube or their Facebook or this or that. And instead of doing that, I decided I would either address it with the person and say, hey, listen, I don't like this. If you have some, please don't do this on my network. If you have a problem with me, let's talk about it. Or I'll just simply remove them. That's an option to keep it where you want it. I don't allow people to be nasty to me online. Oh, what is happening with my slides? Of course. Oh, give me a second, friends. I will jump over here because something got weird with the internets. Typical. Can someone confirm that you can see my screen okay now?